I'm Essence.
I'm Emily.
And we are psychologists and wives.
Organizational culture consultants.
And humans.
People.
Just two girlies.
Dog moms.
Yeah, we have a son. You'll probably see him. Okay, so why are we making a podcast? TBH, it's because we have a lot of really good ideas, I think, but they tend to come out more in our like conversations. Mm-hmm. And then when I was like, I'm like our content person, and every time I tried to put stuff into content, it felt like it was missing something. Mm-hmm. Like there just kept being like, oh, but they need to understand this or they need to understand that, and like it was just not working in like a slide carousel format. But we talk so much because we live together,
work together,
like we do therapy together. There's so many like really cool conversations that I'm always like, this would be such good like content for people, but we have like a hard time bringing it back together. So the goal of the podcast, like for me, is for people to get access to a little bit more of our like raw, unfiltered stuff, and also get to know us without actually like working with us, as this could be a way to kind of feel out if we're the right vibe for you.
Yeah. I think we always end up after any of our talks where I was like, oh, we should have recorded that.
Yeah.
So here's us recording our talk. And like the goal is for it to feel like you guys are in the living room with us, or like you're hanging out with us. Like the whole point of the social club is to create a space where like everyone can just exhale and know that they are safe, that they matter, and that hopefully you hear something that like resonates with you.
Yeah. I guess we should maybe say like who it's for. Would that be helpful?
Well, I think this can be for anybody, because anybody can yap. The social club we started as our consulting business. We felt like there was a pretty significant gap in the space for us to be able to go in and help organizations build better, more sustainable and inclusive organizational cultures. And so the work that we do is a lot of working with nonprofits or other organizations, often human services organizations, mm-hmm. who want to better support the people that they are helping, or they want to better support their staff. But this podcast is hopefully the goal is to make this work, or the things that we talk about, or the ideas that we have, even more accessible. So that way, if you're a part of an organization who doesn't think that they have anything to work on, but you have some things you want to work on, you can get new ideas. If you have people who are thinking about change but not really sure where to go, maybe you can share an episode with them. I think the goal is just to create another safe space for people.
To feel validated. We're also, like, I don't know if we said this, but we're psychologists. Mm-hmm. The way that our weeks are broken up is we spend kind of half the time doing like one-to-one, like individual, family, couples therapy, and then the other half doing the social club. And so we're actively like seeing clients, and we learn new things that can be super helpful. We like to brag and like share them with each other, the things that we've done in therapy that have been cool. And so we also wanted a place that's going to capture that. So it's kind of like the intersection of like our lives, probably some reality TV references of sorts, like psychological safety on an organizational level, probably some current events, and then just like mental health and identity stuff.
The goal is to feel like you're hanging out.
Yeah, and it's going to grow as it grows.
And for all of our friends who we don't hang out with on a regular basis,
you can hear what's going on in our lives. Our friends are going to be like, oh my god, you don't text us back, but here we are making a podcast. Like, when do you have time?
Listen to the podcast.
Yeah, you want to catch up with us? Listen to the pod. That's how we're going to grow our audience, by all the people we don't text back. Just wanting to know, like, what's going on with us.
Word.
Okay, oh, my screen went dark. We're going to need to handwrite notes.
Oh.
Okay, so we're just going to wing it.
Yeah. I think a question that a lot of people ask is, how did we get from grad school to here?
Yeah, that's a valid question. Well, the road to becoming a doctor is aggressively a lot. And so when you first go to grad school, we both went, Emily got a PhD, I got a PsyD, which is just a doctorate of psychology. So it's more of a clinical degree, where hers is maybe more of like a researchy focused, but like we both ended up in the same place.
Pretty similar training backgrounds. Yeah.
But you do 4 years of like taking classes and doing like coursework where things are like hands-on. And then you do a year-long internship. And that process is a match process. So it's kind of like med school, where you go and interview at a bunch of places. I think like the ideal number is 12. They always say, so we both would have applied to like 12 places. They interview you if they're interested, and then you rank all the places that you went. They rank all the people they interviewed, and then they put into like an algorithm, and one random Friday
at 8 a.m.
Friday, 8 a.m. in February, you will get an email that's like, congratulations, you matched, and now you're moving to insert place here.
Oh, and shout out to all the people that just happened for.
Yeah, there was just a match day. So good luck with your future.
Yeah. One random February, you are told, hey, this is the place you are expected to be in either July or August. Have fun.
Oh wait, fun anecdote. Well, I don't know if it's fun, but my match day was in 2020. So February I matched, and then March the world shut down. So that was 2020.
I matched in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that match process, of all the places that we could have ended up,
we ended up at Palm Beach County Youth Services Department. Shout out to Ed Center and all the people that we love. It was seriously like such a good experience, and for that to be the first time that I was like working full time was just fantastic. So some of the cool things about Palm Beach County are everybody from birth to age 22 gets mental health services, like period, just because like the tax is funded, I guess. And so we were working in the education and training department or the residential family services.
So the idea with like the internship is you get training in both like outpatient therapy. So like when most people think about therapy, they think about outpatient therapy.
Yeah, like you go in, it's you and your therapist.
And you see them for 45 minutes to an hour once a week, and that's about all. You have like interaction with your therapist. And so half the year was spent doing outpatient therapy, community outreach, trainings, all that good kind of like external work.
Yeah.
And then the other half of the year, depending on what the rotation was you would end up at a residential program. And so that residential program was for kiddos 11 to 16. And what was really unique about a higher ed family center is that the kids come for the school week, they get dropped off on Monday morning, they get picked up Friday afternoon, so it's not like a typical residential facility where the kids are there. And so the kids were getting schooling, they were getting individual therapy, family therapy, all sorts of like different activities. Like they were living their school week there at High Ridge, and that was a really unique opportunity to do some really intensive therapy work.
Yeah, because you get to see them all the time, and you get to see them interact like in a school environment, in a family environment, when they're just like one-on-one, how they are interpersonally. Like as a therapist, it was a really, really cool experience. And so we both ended up doing our postdoc, which is like after you do your internship, they give you your degree, but they say, wait, you can't actually get a license yet. You have to work for one more year. And so we both ended up doing our postdocs with Palm Beach County. And so somewhere in that story, we fell in love and decided we wanted to be together forever.
The fun little side plot to this all.
Maybe that'll be a separate episode. I feel like people might care about that.
Yeah.
Eventually. Maybe not yet.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
We started out as work colleagues, and then we became friends, and then we became best friends, and then we became girlfriends.
Then fiancés.
Then wives.
And now here we are.
Here we are.
But we've always been coworkers.
My coworker first.
Yes.
So in that, Essence was a year ahead of me in that process. So while she was a postdoc, I was an intern.
When she was a postdoc, I was working.
Correct. And through all of that, like one of the big things in our training was this systemic focus. And so the idea of like a systemic focus is that you're more than just like the little bubble that you live in, that you're impacted by the people you interact with on a daily, weekly, monthly, even yearly basis.
And the people that you interact with directly, and the people that you interact with indirectly, like the government or like your family's other friends or other relationships that impact you directly.
Right. And so
shout out to Bronfenbrenner.
And so that training was like so fundamental to like the 2 years before they hand you a license and say like you can go do therapy by yourself now. That was really ingrained in us and is something that we use in our work as psychologists. And we started to notice that when we eventually moved to Sarasota and we left that little bubble of Palm Beach County where therapy was paid for and people were attending trainings and doing those things, we said, oh, there's a gap. There is a gap in this existing anywhere else besides this kind of like bubble of Palm Beach County.
But it wouldn't be that hard.
Right.
to translate it, especially in Sarasota. There is like a higher concentration of nonprofits in Sarasota County than there are in most places. Especially in Florida, they have the highest concentration of nonprofit organizations. And so while our government is a work in progress, the nonprofit and philanthropic culture is actually like pretty strong here. And so we started to be like, oh, like that would be the end for doing certain things. Also, side plot is, if you are listening, you might not see this, but I am biracial. My dad is black, my mom is white, and I grew up kind of in a lower socioeconomic status. My dad got his doctorate while I was in childhood, and so my family kind of went through some changes with that aspect of diversity. But I have ADHD, so I'm neurodivergent, and I also developed POTS, which is a dysautonomic disorder, which that could also be a whole episode. But basically, there's a lot of aspects of diversity and identity that are really important into how we built our friendship and how we built our relationship. But I think we're also very aware of the systemic impact of those things and why those things tend to pop up in certain demographics. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And so I think that we got really well versed at seeing individual problems and then being able to zoom out and see what other factors are actually like contributing to that thing. And we both work with audiences, and our therapy clients are often very similar to us in one way or another. And so we're getting data from seeing people as individuals having like similar problems. And a lot of problems that people bring up have to do with work because we spend so much of our time there. And so I think at first we were kind of like, all right, like we're gonna be great therapists, and then we're like, dang, like maybe we need a therapy group because everybody has the same issues. And then we're like, well, all their issues are happening like in certain places around things like having no money, or their English is their second language, or they're disabled, or they have a family member that's incarcerated, or they're dealing with homelessness, you know, whatever the nonprofit mission may be in serving that individual. We can see that there's like a very systemic element to those struggles. And so we didn't want to recreate what was already working well here, but we also know that the system is like pretty stretched right now. And so a lot of people are probably like going and like looking for help. And I know with me trying to come up with like referrals and things like that for my clients, like people are on wait lists, and like the system is just like, a lot of people need help and not a lot of people have. Remember the last thing we were saying?
I can be honest.
Okay, resume.
I think we were recognizing like a need. There was like a need to figure out how to sustain the work or like increase capacity without necessarily increasing like the burden on people. And I think anybody who works in human services know that like, the first thing you get taught is like burnout, or the first like piece of like office gossip you hear is like how many people have been in the position that you just took, or you know how long people lasted. That's the thing, like most social workers here is like, okay, well you'll be good here for 6 months, but then like you'll be like,
turnover is like a big issue because of capacity.
Doing a lot of the work, we noticed a need for the community we lived in, especially.
We also have a lot of friends that work either in philanthropy or in human services in general. I mean, like, that's just the world that we have been in. Yeah. And so, like, it's not only that we are hearing about it, but we're also experiencing it and then seeing it in our friends. I wonder if the mic picked up on your neck. But, like, we're hearing it, we're seeing it, we're like, okay, like, there has to be a better way.
Yeah.
And there has to be a better way to keep good people and, like, make people want to actually, like, commit to doing the work. The people that are passionate, like, not burning them out and making them, like, never want to work in this industry or whatever again. Yeah. And so, like, that's kind of what we're on a mission to do. We don't know everything, but I feel like the things that we do know, we know well.
We're very big on humbling ourselves. I think we have said from the jump, like, when we really started to take this consulting business as a serious endeavor, is like something we really want to do, is like our goal is to not reinvent the wheel, because like our community doesn't need another nonprofit. It doesn't need competition necessarily, but it needs somebody to fill in a gap where there is a need and nobody's addressing that need. And so we don't want to tell people how to do their job. We don't want to tell people what we think is like best, but we want to help any organization or any person get to their own conclusion and support them in like addressing whatever they think is the most relevant problem to solve.
We've also been in organizations where there's words like trauma-informed care or like, practice self-care, and they sound really nice, but the way that they are talked about is overly simplistic or boring, or you can just tell that the person that's training you or talking to you has never actually had any experience with the thing that you're asking for help with. And that just annoys me a lot. I remember we had a consultant come to one of the places I was working at, and they came in, and this person had been a trainer on trauma-informed care, but had never actually worked in an agency like the ones that they were supposed to be helping.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, oh, well, you know, if you're having a rough day, you need to tap out. And I'm like, this is a residential facility. You can't be like, hey, this kid's crashing out, but I need to take a deep breath. Like, it was very not relevant, and I think, like, that is kind of the thing that differentiates us, is that while we're also, like, doing the organizational things, we're still doing the individual level things, and so we aren't very far removed from the reality of what it means to be, like, a person with responsibilities and, like, navigating the world. I think that helps us to adapt the, like, nicer, cleaned up frameworks to actually work in the settings that they need to.
If you want a consultant that is going to teach you chair yoga to prevent burnout, we are not the consultants. We've had to do chair yoga. We don't want to do it
chair
anymore.
yoga. I wonder if I could find that video of us on Zoom. We had somebody come in, we were like doing chair yoga, and they were like, you can turn off your cameras, but only some did.
Yeah, listen, if you have ever been in a training where they have given you permission to turn off your camera and you turn off your camera and go do side work, we get it. Because we have also been those people.
Yeah, but we really don't want to be those people.
No, and I think that is why this is one thing we are willing to reinvent the wheel on, is training.
The wheel's not working.
Trainings need to be better, consulting needs to be better, and hopefully we accomplish the thing that we would want if we had a consultant come in.
Yeah.
So we want it to be engaging and fun and to not feel like you just wasted a couple hours.
Yeah, we are Big Brother watchers. We watch, like, Survivor, Traders, Big Brother, like, a lot of those little activity things. And I think that is what we aim for in trainings, is I want people to leave being like, wow, that went by fast. Or, like, for them to be in situations where they're actually practicing the skills instead of listening to me ramble on. So a lot of our trainings are actually us kind of stirring the pot and then see what happens. Yeah. Because I think if we can observe the things that people are actually dealing with in the context that they happen, we can say, hey, why'd you do that? And it will bring the information a lot easier. Yeah. So we're very experiential girlies.
Yeah, and I think the goal of a podcast like this is to take some of that and give people ideas that they can do on their own.
Or like exercises even.
Yeah, so I think it's a good opportunity for people to hear what we're working on, and also if we have a stroke of brilliance, to share it.
To see things, because one day, I'm telling you right now, we're going to be famous one day. And you're
in a good way,
not like the headlines for something crazy. And so because of that, this is kind of like the rough draft. This gives us an opportunity to talk about stuff in practice. I guess that's us a little bit.
When we sat down to talk about what we wanted this to feel like, we wanted it to feel like a first date,
but not like a weird one,
but like one you're like, yeah, I want to see them again. The goal is for it to hopefully, like, you learned a little bit about us and we get to learn about whoever is watching this.
Yeah, and if you want to follow along in other places, our website is drsocialclub.com. You can email us at hello@drsocialclub.com, and then we are on social media as drsocialclub_, trying to change.
If that is you,
exchange.
Please respond.
Yeah, so if you're open to that, I would love to talk.
Yeah, we need to do our weekly report.
Okay, we're going to try this. At least we said we have to give like 10 episodes before we reevaluate. So
if you hate it,
if you hate it in the comments so we can like know that it was not.
Okay, so the weekly report's an acronym for reading, eating, playing, obsessing, and trying.
Recommending. And treating.
Yeah, recommending and treating.
So, what have you been reading this week?
I have gotten sucked into the Threads conspiracy about whether West and Amanda from Summer House are dating. I'm very into all the gossip, so if anybody likes Summer House,
Yeah.
we'd love to.
Stay tuned.
This might be outdated. We might already know.
No, this is going out soon.
Oh, perfect.
Have to launch it.
Wait.
Or we never will. Can't tell you how many times we've actually done something like this, but this is actually making it out the group chat.
What are you
reading?
reading?
What am I reading? But currently I'm reading via audiobook Do Not Disturb by Frida McFadden, I think her name is.
If you've seen the movie The Housemaid,
Yeah, it's by Frida.
based on a Frida book.
I stumbled into suspense and now I can't get out. Like I'm like a fiction, fun, cutesy reader that now is like a suspense listener. So that's what's going on right now, but I'll probably finish it and have a new one by next time.
Slut. What are you eating?
Eating. Or maybe like what's the best thing that we ate?
Best bite?
Recently?
Yeah.
Oh, best bite, that's cute.
That's cute.
I
know.
What?
We have been on a whipped ricotta bruschetta kick.
So extra.
And it's been so good. We have some in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bruschetta's good.
The bruschetta's been really hidden.
I've been trying to think of something unique.
Oh.
I think, honestly, on Friday, I wanted spaghetti. I'm like a big spaghetti girly, and that was so good. And actually, I was going to ask if you wanted to have that for leftovers. Or for dinner tonight, but I forgot until just now. Yeah, I think my spaghetti was banger. I also had a tragedy occur that I'm going to share because why not? We DoorDashed from Culver's the other day because it was late and nowhere else was open. And I really wanted Rocky Road because that is my fave.
We were out of Rocky Road.
We had no Rocky Road. And so I ordered, I don't even remember, it was like a concrete mixer.
It was like chocolate.
No, it was like Butterfinger and caramel or Heath something. It sounded really good. And the DoorDasher drops off our order and there is Emily's concrete mixer and there is our impulsive cheese curds, but not a single thingy for me.
The one person who really wanted ice cream.
The only reason we ordered ice cream was for me.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing.
Word.
P.
Playing. We've been playing pickleball outside.
I mean, we've been practicing pickleball. I don't know if I would say that we've been playing necessarily, but we got...
You did try to have me run into a stomp.
No, you are responsible for your body, your choice. Yeah, we got out the pickleball. We got it at Aldi, I think. So if you don't shop at Aldi, Isle of Shame. But yeah, we did a good job with that. I've been sewing. So I've been like playing with my sewing machine. Just got it. I have so many fabrics. I have officially made something. Haven't quite figured out what it's going to be. Right now it is a curtain, but it might become a cushion.
Allegedly.
So through my first couple sewing projects, I have recognized the need to plan and measure and do all of those things. So it's really killing my ADHD brain, but that's what I've been playing with.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't say mahjong.
That's my obsessing.
Oh, okay. On to obsessing.
I've been playing mahjong on my phone. It's great. I'm like almost to level 100.
She started like last week, which is nuts.
Like 5 days ago. I really have been liking mahjong. It's good for my brain. I've been sleeping really well because of it.
Pop off.
So, what are you obsessing over? It better be me.
My life. And getting this podcast out of the group chat. And
by group chat, she means our conversation.
Yeah, the group chat being me and Emily. But, I think I'm really I'm forcing an obsession, I guess, of, actually, taking the ideas and putting them into action instead of just, having ideas. Because I have a lot of ideas, but I never do anything with them.
Yeah.
So, that's my obsessing.
What are you?
I just finished School Spirits, the 3rd season, and it was really good. I really like that show, so I would recommend that show to people that have not seen it if you like the high school teeny drama of things. But it has a cool storyline. What about you? If you're local to Sarasota, we highly recommend Detweiler's Chips and Salsa.
I'd recommend having a staple snack that you can rotate weekly, but having some kind of staple snack in the house that, if you're hungry but you don't know what you want, you always have that. It has been Detweiler's salsa And then Old Florida tortilla chips. They're very well seasoned. I'm a big fan.
Just like a good combo.
It hits. It did. The bruschetta was like an entry into some of that because
yeah, but nobody. I mean, like realistically, if I'm hungry and I need a snack, I'm not like whipping up some bruschetta.
Fair.
You are because you're like that, but like I am not, so it works out.
So I would recommend having like a staple snack in the house. Something that just makes you a little excited.
Yeah.
Treating. What are we treating ourselves to this week?
Or what have we treated ourselves to? Either way.
I thought it could be aspirational.
Then it's another thing to make out the group chat. Now it's a real group chat.
It's true. I treated myself to a good nap yesterday.
4 hours. She needed it.
Yeah. I'm not normally a nap person.
Yeah.
But I felt like that was a well-needed nap.
Yeah.
What are you treating yourself to?
I don't know. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, it would have been better because I got a massage.
You're going to the chiropractor this week?
Yeah, I don't know that I would count that as like a treat as much as I would like a medical necessity, but you know. I'm probably going to treat myself to some Rocky Road this evening because why not? Okay, well, that's the report, and that's a wrap on our first podcast episode.
We did it.
Well, we almost did it.
When you're hearing this.
Yes, yeah, that's true. By the time you're listening, you did hear it.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't think about that. Okay.
Hopefully you want to come back for a second date.
Yeah, if you're into that. So, we don't have any like words of wisdom, but maybe next time we will. First 10 are a trial, so we'll start to hopefully get into a flow.
Alright, and if it's 0 listeners after 10, then...
It doesn't matter, we're going to keep going, because eventually, if you do anything long enough, people will find you.
I did learn that from the Manosphere.
Yeah, like they're, well that could be its own episode, honestly.
For real.
Yeah, maybe we just have one where we complain. Like, bring things we hate.
Okay.
I used to do that in high school.
Number 1 hater episode.
Yes. That's intriguing. I'd be into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us know your thoughts.
Yeah.
It's been real.
It's been fun.
It's been real fun.